So it is 2021 and we made it to a new year. And this is the very first video for Approach the Nerd of the year. And it just happens to be about the Doctor Who New Year's special. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are reviewing the Doctor Who New Year's special entitled Revolution of the Daleks, because there has to be a Dalek involved at some point in every Doctor Who special for some reason. So, I did not hate this episode, and that's probably because of Captain Jack Harkness being a major player in it. I don't want to go over this verbatim because it's going to be a very long video, so I will just talk about what I liked, what I kind of thought was meh, and where I hope the series is going from this point. So, we are past everything that's happened in the last series. We're not talking about the Timeless Child, Gallifrey, the Master and his Cybermen. We're not talking about the other Doctor that the Doctor doesn't remember being. All of that is in the past, even though the Doctor is presently still working all that out. We are basically picking up from where the Judoon appeared on the TARDIS to arrest the Doctor and take her to this maximum, security space prison in the middle of nowhere. I think it's like 76 to 79 billion light years away from Earth. If I'm I think I'm correct on that. I'll have to look that up. But time flows differently in this prison than it does on Earth. So where the Doctor has been there about maybe 2 decades, it's only been 10 months on Earth. And the Doctor is very isolated, does not have anyone to talk to, literally is talking to security lights, some of the creatures and species around her that she probably had a hand in putting, in there in some way or another. Like there are 2 crazy Oods that she names like Bonnie and Clyde. We see a weeping angel she calls Angela. She even talks to the security camera. She numbers them. So Doctor's not doing that great. What I love about Jack and the Doctor's relationship is just how much the Captain will actually sacrifice for the Doctor, no matter what regeneration the Doctor is. So to try and save or break the Doctor out of prison, Captain Jack commits a lot of crimes, and they had to be pretty bad crimes to be arrested by the Jude and taken to this prison. And he spends 19 years trying to get a cell next to her in order to break her out with this magical ball. I'm going to call it the magical force field bubble. I'm naming it because he has a very long name for this thing that lasts about 11 seconds, and they have to run out. And he basically breaks her out with this technology or with this tech. I think it's cool. I love in this episode that Captain Jack name drops not only Rose Tyler when he's explaining his history to Yaz and the fam, also that he talks about Gwen from Torchwood and how, her son was able to take out, a Dalek that we see later in the season with using a moped, I guess moped and boxing gloves, something like that. It's kind of cool. It makes me wonder if they're actually planning to do something to reboot Torchwood at some point. Would be kind of cool. But yeah, so really quickly, premise of the story is the bunghole, I believe his first name is also Jack, so we'll just call him Robertson, American businessman Robertson, that we saw in Arachnids in the UK. He makes a deal with a very power-hungry politician named Joe Patterson, who basically sets her sights on being the prime minister. So they make this agreement. It takes about 2 years. She's a secretary when they start, and then she's running for prime minister by the end, where they're going to repurpose Daleks based on one of the Daleks that was recovered at the beginning of the episode, that was hijacked by people that Robertson hired to drug the driver and steal the Dalek prototype. They recruit a tech genius and CEO named Leo Ragazzi, who basically takes the technology and makes or mass produces them. And they're going to be used as, basically defense bots or defense weapons or whatever we're calling them to basically aid the police. It's a stupid idea. Basically. To add on to it, Leo Ragazzi, who is a tech genius again, who is very sweet but very inquisitive and probably should not have done this, decided to take some cellular particles he found on the casing of one of the Daleks, or the original Dalek that he had basically taken apart to build his other Daleks, and grew a Dalek. He grew a Dalek. Even Robertson told him it was an abomination and to basically incinerate it. And, you know, he should have. He did cross a line. That is some mad scientist stuff right there. And Leo does try to destroy this Dalek, but the Dalek, of course, attacks him when he opens the casing. And what did you expect was going to happen? You should have just thrown the whole damn thing in there. Don't open it up to pull it out. I don't understand that. But anyway, the Dalek takes over poor Leo. Leo was able to make a call to his wife, telling her, you know, he's going out of town or going to be working on some stuff and to kiss his kids. I'm like, oh, he's probably going to die. And sure enough, he does. Simultaneously, Yaz is completely obsessed with finding the doctor. She doesn't realize at this point the doctor has escaped. And Ryan and Graham basically are not that, well, it's not that they don't care, but they act like they've just readjusted to their normal lives. They have come to terms with the fact that maybe the doctor is dead, which is interesting. So Yaz, who is trying to break this puzzle that she's just convinced the doctor left for her to find her, has all these Post-it notes everywhere, and Ryan and Graham show up, and they're like, Happy New Year, and she's like, well, when did that happen? So she had been sleeping there, and it's really sad. Yaz is absolutely obsessed with the doctor. So Ryan and Graham show her the video of the Daleks that are, you know, because somebody had actually video on their cell phone had recorded the demonstration that Leo had done for Joe with Jack Robertson to get her on board with the Dalek, you know, repurposing program they're doing to try and get her voters and to basically make Robertson money. And so they, of course, try and do something about it. It doesn't work because Robinson's ready for it. He's got security. Doesn't go over the way they think. But the doctor shows up. And she shows up with Jack. And what irritated me a little bit was that she had to keep apologizing to the fam for being gone for 10 months, even though she was incarcerated. You know, it's not like she intentionally was like, I'm going to live my best life in my TARDIS. No, she was missing and she was incarcerated for 10 months their time, 2 decades her time. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And when she shows up, you start really seeing more that Ryan does not want to do this anymore. He doesn't want to travel with the doctor. He doesn't want to travel. I mean, it's very evident that he's tired and he's ready to go back to his regular life or his whatever new life he's creating for himself. Graham, throughout the episode, still seems to be on Team Fam. So Graham still feels gung-ho about traveling and seeing things and doing things. But yeah, Ryan, he's got one foot out the door, and it's very apparent throughout the entire episode. Long story short, though, they come up with a plan to destroy the Dalek ship, but they also have to basically, the hybrid Daleks turn on the humans, and they need to deal with this problem. And so the doctor decides to call the real Daleks, or pure Daleks, to come and take out the hybrid Daleks, which even Jack says this is a crazy idea. It's basically a nuclear bomb because what's stopped them from killing all the humans after they're done killing the hybrid Daleks. And so that's when she comes with a plan to blow up their ship. So, and she has another plan as well, which I'll get to in a second. But so basically, she makes the call, and then this is the second nitpick that I have. So she doesn't want them to know it's from her. She doesn't want the Daleks to know the doctor is calling. But yet, when they get there, and they're all flying around this bridge to face off against each other, the hybrids versus the pure Daleks, she parks her TARDIS over this overhead, and she gets out of it, like on the, you know, where they're parked, where the TARDIS is parked. How do the Daleks not see that? Like, I don't understand. She gets out. She's in complete view. If you want to be incognito, why would you put yourself in the position to be seen? But no, whatever. And of course, Robertson trades on her and then goes tells the Daleks, oh, the doctor called you, but it's a trap, and trying to get on the Dalek side. I'll sell out humanity. He's just a turd. He's just a turd. They end up saving him, and by the end of the episode, he takes credit for saving humanity, because that, my friends, is what happens with turds in the Doctor Who series. They get ahead for a while. But long story short, we lose Graham and we lose Ryan. Ryan decides he wants to protect his own Earth. He wants to be able to, he doesn't want to stop what he's doing with the doctor. He just wants to do it at home. He's got a relationship building with his dad. His mates need him. And he wants to, basically protect the Earth. And Graham, who had been really gung-ho to travel, he was ready, put his grandson first. And I actually did like that. If companions have to leave a series, I actually like it when they leave for sentimental reasons, not by being killed off. I actually would have been very upset, especially if Graham had been killed off, because they have potential to come back later and visit or do another episode or a guest appearance. Not really so much when they're dead. I mean, it could still happen depending on the timeline, but you know what I mean. So I love that Graham made the choice to stay with his grandson. And I love by the end of the episode, Ryan was still trying to ride that freaking bike and Graham was trying to teach him. And it was Graham, who he basically decided to stay for Ryan, and Ryan called him granddad. And that made me extremely happy. I was a little weepy there. I do like that the doctor gave them psychic paper because they are still keeping tabs on all the weirdness. Like they have stuff going on in Korea and Finland. So they've decided that they're going to go investigate. And as Graham says, this will get us in everywhere. I'm kind of hoping they have some of the tech they got, especially in the premiere episode of last season, because they're going to need tech if they're dealing with aliens. They're not going to have the doctor to help them, and Yaz isn't going to be there. So it's just going to strictly be on Ryan and Graham. And I think they could probably do a good job as long as it didn't get too crazy, but they definitely need tech. But who knows? I mean, who knows who they're going to, maybe UNIT will be around. I don't know. Maybe they'll join UNIT like Martha did. I don't know. I just know that it's interesting. They're not quitting the fight. They're still going to save their world from alien threats and whatnot, but they chose to be a family. And I thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, Yaz is still on board, and then we finally see after the credits of another series I may be reviewing called The Watch. I'm going to check that out today, actually. That the new companion joining the Doctor and Yaz is named Dan, and he's going to be played by John Bishop. And Bishop is a comedian. And from what the little snippets we saw, it looks like it's going to be a fun ride. Again, I don't know what the new series is going to be about. A lot of people were very unhappy with some of the retconning that happened in the last series in terms of the Doctor's origin. I don't know if we're going to have more of this timeless child extension dilemma going forward into the new series. I'm hoping we get back to some of the Doctor Who that we love, know and love. Traveling to different planets, different Earths, dealing with different crap, It's what we love about the Doctor. Always sticking your nose in other people's business and fixing stuff. So I'm hoping we're getting back to that. I don't know if we're going to have Yaz pass another series since we already got rid of the 2 members of the fam. Yaz has already expressed concerns with speaking with Captain Jack Harkness that, I'm worried about, the Doctor leaving. And he says, basically the Doctor will leave you. I mean, it's going to happen. But the thing is, you just have to deal with the heartbreak by thinking about all the good times because you were the lucky ones that got to travel with the Doctor. And it's such a true statement because eventually something will happen and they'll have to part. And I'm glad that Ryan and Graham parted on their own terms because I have a feeling that Yaz is not going to part on her own terms, and it's sad. So, yeah. But overall, I liked the episode, especially having Captain Jack back. I'm hoping this means we're going to have more of him in the next season, but who knows? But I would love to know what you guys thought about it, so please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for Jury Duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the Nerd Ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.